Yeah. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
You might wonder why I'm wearing a coat when it's 80 degrees outside.
I wasn't going to ask, but
No, you were going to... Our viewers might wonder. I got my shots yesterday. And I've been shivering. But yeah, it's all good. I'm here. I get it so I don't get you sick. How about that? That's the reason.
very nice.
Sticking to the story. Anyways, yeah. So it's been a good Friday. What do we got going on this week, dude?
We got a lot going on this week. We're going to, we got our demo.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about the demo here, ChatGPT and Bing Chat. We'll go over that.
Yep.
And then, as our Facebook post shared, we got a lot of people that ask us a lot of things, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we hear.
The one thing that we hear the absolute most.
Yep.
It's also a little bit of a pet peeve, isn't it? A little bit, just a smidge.
Maybe for you sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get into those. And then, some of the things that we did a failover internet installation. Some businesses can't go without internet. And so we'll talk about...
Bad things happen when they don't have internet.
We'll talk about that as well. But yeah, like you said, we had a good week this week.
That's right.
And, we're going to get into the... why don't we get into it? Are you ready for the demo?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. Yeah,
I got some notes here, Greg.
So we wrote some notes because I kind of went home and had a nap. And usually I'm a little bit better prepared for stuff like this. But anyways, first on our agenda is like what ChatGPT is. So we're popped over to the computer here, and I've got ChatGPT open in my Chrome browser because I'm going to use Bing in the Edge browser. So there's two versions of ChatGPT. There's 3.5 and 4, and 4 is the latest one. It's a little quicker. I really don't know why you'd go back to 3.5. Somebody, if you know, put something in the comments for me. We'd love to hear from you. But there's also like an option to have a free and a paid version. So Keith, what's the benefit of going free or paid? Do you know?
I really haven't noticed. I've been using the free version, and I haven't had any problems. But you use the paid version,
Yes.
and you probably do notice the difference.
Well, but are you using 3.5? Because you can't get 4 if
you
you're
can't get 4 if you're on free.
That's right. So there's one difference. And the other thing is I don't know if it's this way now, and perhaps the AI model is more available now, and they've added more servers. But back in February, when I started using ChatGPT, when the servers got really busy, they would prioritize access to the paid people. And so
of course.
Well, they're a for-profit company.
I do remember using it, and occasionally, like in the earlier days, where it would say, "We're not available. Please try again later." And I was like,
And that annoyed me, so I just went and spent the whole $20 to get it to go. But essentially, you can ask it any question in plain English or in many languages. We don't know how many languages that they're able to do. It can even translate. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, I've seen it translate.
So
there's a lot.
Yeah. But you can pretty much ask it anything. We use it a lot for content creation. That doesn't mean that what we put out there is 100% ChatGPT. It's mostly stuff that maybe it was a soup starter, and then we get some ideas and inspiration, and then we write around it. I really have a problem with people putting out 100% ChatGPT stuff because it's really disingenuous. I want people to hear me. I don't want them to hear my computer. So, end of that rant. Mm-hmm. But you can get incorrect information, right?
Yeah.
You know what they call that? Call it hallucinations.
Hallucinations.
Yeah. So, yes, somebody made one of the programmers must be into mushrooms or something. I don't know. But you can get incorrect information. So don't trust, double check, And then you can get some dangerous information, but there are some guardrails that are in there. That's what guardrails are called. Like if I wanted to say, for instance, learn how to build an explosive device, that would have like guardrails. And I'm sorry, Facebook, that might have like given me a strike. Come to think of it, not intended. Like take the context, Facebook. It'll come up and it will actually say, no, I can't do that. It would be unsafe or something to that effect. What else we got, Keith?
Prompts.
Oh yeah, so
How to prompt.
So when you tell ChatGPT to do something, then you are giving it a prompt. So I send it a message. Well, what kind of prompt would you like me to put in, Keith?
Let's find out what the shots Greg got was.
Okay, so what are the CDC recommended vaccinations? Maybe.
Sounds good.
What are the CDC recommended vaccinations for people 60 plus? We'll get specific. They call that prompt engineering because the better the question you ask, the better the answer that you're going to get in 2023, because otherwise we might get what 2020 would. And see, it cannot give us any information that is past 2022. So there's a way around that, though. If you don't have Copilot or you don't have another way of doing this, you can actually use a plugin. Let me just copy this. And I'm going to go new chat. We can do here, and then we can just do browse with Bing. And then it can use information from the internet. So that's how you get around it. So it browses and it's going to give us the right information.
Now, those plugins are only available on the paid version. Is that correct?
I don't think so. I think you might be correct, but I because I have a paid version, I don't know. And notice that it's taking its time. It's reading a few documents online, trying to get me the best information. So you may have to wait just a little bit and see. It just tells me it's clicking on the cdc.gov website. There we go. Let me see if I'm missing any. Okay, I've got that one. COVID, influenza, got that one yesterday, and COVID. I've had the pneumonia. Excuse me. Shingles, had all of those. Had shingles. Get your shingles vaccine if you don't like pain. This was the worst painful thing I ever had happen was shingles. So if you are of my age and you're being stubborn, don't be stupid. Get your shingles shot. Tdap and RSV. RSV is the one that I got yesterday. So yeah, hepatitis. I've had that. Not hepatitis, but the vaccine. Yep. God, no. But yeah, so it's like it's kind of like searching on steroids. You know, it gets you kind of the best of the best answers that it can find. But if you were to like do want to do a search using the internet, probably the better way is to actually just go to Bing Chat. You can use like garden variety. Let's switch browsers here. So this is like your, go away. Not you. You can go to your garden variety browser and search on your Bing, which is like the normal tool. Or let's see if I can type. Evidently, I cannot type. There we go. We can do the Ask Me Anything, but there's two ways that you can go. You can use the chat button, and that'll bring you here. And this is kind of powered by Copilot for the web. So in our case, because we have a Microsoft 365 account that has Business Premium, it actually protects our company data from training the models. So essentially anything that you type in, unless you go into the settings and you set it so that it doesn't use your information to train the model, can be used to train the model. In our case, by default, because we have a corporate license, it does protect us. And then you have the ability to also to go to Windows Copilot over here, and you can pick and choose how you want the tonality to work. So, for instance, if you want it to be more creative, it might give you a few more goofy answers in the normal, and then if you want something that's a little bit more precise, you can pick that. So the Microsoft has invested very heavily in ChatGPT, and so while this is not ChatGPT and that they host their own kind of version of ChatGPT, because it is an open source application, it has a lot of the same features, but it has a little bit more pretty in front of it, like these three buttons here. And you can ask it anything. So what do we got next there, Keith? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So go ahead.
One of the things we had on here was ask for variations. And I know this is one we use a lot, where we always say, give me the top 10 of something,
Top 10 ways to bathe your cat.
10 ways to bathe your cat.
10. I'm going to do a twofer, vet. And you have to, act as a vet. I need to say it right. As if you are a vet. Give your client 10 ways to bathe a cat. How about we be a little bit without getting clawed to death?
Type it up.
Now that was plain goofy.
Well,
But hey, it is what it is. Absolutely. Ensuring a stress-free bathing experience for your cat is crucial. Yep, preparation, trimming claws, cat-friendly shampoo. We got that. Calming spray. I never thought of that one. Dry runs. Oh, okay. So practice putting the cat in a dry bathtub so it doesn't freak out. Yeah, use a slip-resistant mat. That would be really good for you, too. So you don't fall out if the cat decides it's going to claw you to death.
Right.
Warm water. Yeah, who would want to have a bath in cold water other than Wim Hof?
Exactly right.
That's the thing.
I don't need ChatGPT to tell me this, because my cats actually bathe themselves, believe it or not.
Yeah, they do, but I have had times where you get an older cat. I mean, some of mine are a little bit geriatric, and sometimes they're not very good at cleaning themselves. Oh, use a washcloth for the face. That's a good idea. Yep. These are a lot of the things that we do. Give it a treat when you're done.
Exactly.
Kitty.
And I think, go back to mention, the act as if is a very good, very helpful thing to use for ChatGPT, because when you tell it and act as if you're an IT professional, for instance, that's what we do. You can teach it and it'll give you advice in the perspective of whatever it's acting as if it is.
That's right, because it knows what part of the database of the language model to pull from,
Yeah.
and kind of can go by percentages of what words are going to follow which. It's pretty remarkable.
Yep. Just like you typed in act as if
Yeah.
you're a vet. So it's almost like you're actually talking to a vet.
Yep.
Very helpful.
And there's all kinds of like extensive things that you can do with it. But let's go ahead and do a new chat. I'm going to show like a cool plugin. So you can use plugins, and I don't have any enabled right now, but these are third-party applications that you can get like through the store, and these are some of them that I have. We use Canva a lot for some of the things that we post on Facebook to make them pretty, and you can go to the store and search to your heart's content. There's like literally thousands of them. But just to give you an example, I went ahead and did we have somebody say hi?
We had somebody give us a thumbs up in the chat.
Well, hi. Was it Grandma?
It was Grandma.
We had somebody else too, didn't we?
No, I think she gave us the double thumbs up.
Okay, double thumbs up.
Yep.
That's not just a thumbs up. So one of the ones that I picked was Kayak. So Kayak is a search engine for trips. Where and when do we want to go somewhere, Keith?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let's plan out our trips for the Olympics. So
Okay.
let's get a flight to the Paris Olympics in 2024.
And this actually does go to the web because the plugin does pull from the web.
Aha.
Give me my options for travel to Paris for the 2024 Olympics. It's got more questions for me because I didn't give it enough information.
Oh.
Where are we going to be flying out of? We're going to fly out of McCook, right?
Sure.
We are going to fly out of McCook. How long is the Olympics? Is it a month?
3 weeks, I think.
Okay. We will want to stay a week before the Olympics and a week after. Money is no object. Hey, we can dream, right? And needs to be nonstop. First class, 5-star hotel.
The best of the best.
And we will be taking Ubers. The best of the best. And honestly, I've been to Paris. I do not want to drive in Paris. Hell no. All right, see what it gives us. See if we can calculate the dates and stuff. Let's be thinking.
Now, the job of a travel advisor is very hard.
Yes, it is. Well, and I gave it a lot of nebulous questions or answers to the question. It's going to have to calculate, well, what is a week before and a week after? It might be the robots at Kayak might be very angry with me right now. Dang you. Oh, from McCook. Oh, but it did give us the, okay, so we're going to have to tell it that we will fly out of Denver.
Ah.
but it was smart enough to know that we didn't need a rental car. Okay, we need flights from Denver.
I like how it gives you some links to some of those 5-star hotels.
so you can
actually
see what kind of cool things there are. Hotel du Temps,
right.
Hotel Bleu de Ranière.
The future would be telling ChatGPT to book your flight for you. Here's my credit card.
I don't think I would be doing that. You also need to be really careful. Well, heck, I can't fly nonstop out of Denver either. Where
That'll be a
then can I fly
30-hour flight.
stop from the United States?
Yeah, Washington, D.C. or
LA.
L.A. to
New
Paris.
York.
That'd be a long flight.
I don't know what direction it would go. Would it go west or would it go east?
North.
LAX, you were right, Jennifer. San Francisco, Seattle, San Diego, Portland, Chicago. Yeah, so you got to take that the big puddle jump from here to some bigger place. South, you can go to. That's stupid. When we went to
All your options.
yeah, all the options. Anyways, enough of that. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll probably mess with ChatGPT a little bit more. Hopefully, I'll be feeling a little better next week, and we'll maybe kind of polish this a little bit.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. Hope you had some fun with that. Did you have fun?
Oh, yeah.
I just like making stuff up. All right. So we didn't have any questions, though, did we?
I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? You can put them in the chat, and we'll get to those as they come in. But
Yeah. Burning questions, we do ask on Wednesdays. So if you have something that's a little complex, it gives us a couple days. But you can always post something in the chat. And if we don't know the immediate answer, we can look it up because we're good that way.
that's right.
Oh, that was one thing they did want to mention is that, with, prior, there's the big skill to have would be the skill to be able to ask the right questions, like search, like on Google or Bing or whatever search engine that you wanted to use. That was the big skill. Nobody knows everything. I don't care who you are. And I know a lot of techs out there, they go, well, if you have to use Google to figure out what you should know already, then you're not much of a tech. Well, heck, you can't know everything, possibly know everything. However, you can recall what you learned from a Google search. A lot of the error messages that we get are very obscure. We'll see. You'll see them only once in a lifetime. We'll only see it once in a lifetime. And still we figure stuff out because somebody somewhere in the world had that problem and was able to solve it. You should have the basic skills, right? Everybody should have them. But there's nothing wrong with being really good at search, and that's a good skill to have. But the new skill that you're going to need to develop on top of that is going to be how to prompt engineer. And I think engineering is kind of like a really weird word for it. It's kind of a fancy markety word. You have to know how to ask the right questions, how to phrase things, and where Google browser search will give you specific, exact what you're looking for in text. Your ChatGPT is more conversational. It understands a little bit more about how humans. It doesn't understand it. It has a model to mimic the ability to understand what humans are going to ask when they ask a specific question or put in a command. But there's actually a whole industry of people that sell prompts. Did you know that?
I think you mentioned it once.
Yeah. I have one. I spent like $20. It wasn't worth it. But because I'm good at asking questions. If you are a good searcher, you are probably going to not have as much trouble moving from A to B. But yeah, did I digress from our subject or not?
No, that's an important thing because I heard you doing some of the training and they talk about that kind of stuff, about learning how to ask the right questions. And speaking of asking the right questions, we get a lot of people that, either they come into the store, or they give us a call on the phone, and they're asking us questions. There's always a problem and there's always a question, how do I do this, or what am I doing wrong? And I think you said the one that you don't like is, it's not even a question. It's, I don't know how to use a computer. And that was kind of what.
And I'll tell you why I don't like that. And it's the question that I don't like. It's not the person giving it. The person giving it is just saying, I'm not confident. So, nobody knows everything about the computer. I wish I knew more. Well, I wish I knew more too, and you've heard me say that before. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know anything about computers. So I wish I knew more too, However, the correct way to phrase things is, how do I do something? It's actually the functionality, right?
Exactly.
What do I want to get accomplished? And I think a lot of people, like in our industry, and we see our peers online, right? What's the one thing that is most common with them, Keith? They're very thing oriented, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're always comparing, their products. What product should I use? I'm using this. Is this better? And it's always a tug of war to find, what's the best antivirus, what's the best remote software, what's the best cybersecurity training. They're all, asking for opinions and looking for, validation on, what they're using. And, if there is something better out there, obviously everybody wants to find it, but it seems like, in what we do, there is a lot of back and forth between just, vetting products and trying to find out which is the best.
Vetting products that really they do indirectly affect our customers, but they really don't, because, like my accountant people, they just want to be able to use Excel more efficiently. And you don't hear anybody in our forums, batting back and forth Excel solutions. It's almost like something's broken and they got to fix it. That's just kind of the, the break fix mentality where, you lose sight of, hey, people, they don't give a crap about the computer. They just care about what it does, Like you had a thing, in Word, a few weeks back where, somebody got a document and the document was formatted kind of oddly. And it took a lot of work to figure out how to make it so the numbering was off in lists and the like. It was some really weird way. It was a government document, so I don't need to go any further than that. But, you don't see those kinds of conversations going on, and it kind of slays me is that those are the things that we should be talking about as well. I mean, I think you're right. We need to know a little bit about the best tools, but you can beat that dead horse. I mean, you and I know that our management system is pretty much the same as every other management system that's out there. There's really only so many ways to present it, but that shouldn't matter to you. You don't need to know how to use computers. You need to know, or you don't need to know about computers. You need to know how to use them. And I think that's kind of been like my focus the last while, how do I use them? How do I use them safely? Right? How many months have we been working on that cybersecurity, information security policy thing?
Yes, at least 6 months now.
Yeah, it's a very long time. And the trouble with it for end users is that friggin' boring. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is boring. So we're thinking on kind of putting a little bit of sugar with the medicine, because you need to know about cybersecurity, folks. I don't care who you are, whether you're an 85-year-old grandmother that just uses Facebook, or a young whippersnapper, or somebody who's using computers and technology in their career. you need to have some sort of a framework in your head about what's safe and what's not safe, bar none. However, that's the medicine. And I've been thinking of adding some additional training like Microsoft 365 so that, you get a little bit of stuff that you're going to use every day with the knowledge of how to use it safely. So if you have something that you would like to learn, some burning thing that you would like to learn, put it in the comments. When we did that lunch and learn at Colby, 25% of the people that were there, and we had 40, so there was 10 people that gave us different applications that they would like to know more about. So that tells me that there's some demand, but we need to make sure that we're giving you the right tool for it, because that kind of training can get boring too. So anyways, yeah, don't say, I don't know anything about computers. Ask a better question. Don't use a statement. And then, you went for a little road trip. You did a couple things, right?
Yeah, I did. We had a couple clients needing some new equipment, and I was on the road delivering the new equipment, and for one of our clients, they actually installed failover internet, and that is extremely important for a lot of businesses. If you don't have internet, sometimes you can't run transactions, you can't get your work done, whatever it may be. And so being out and where we are in the rural Nebraska, some of the smaller towns, they don't have a lot of options for their primary internet providers. And, for the home users, they probably suffer the most, where their internet's out and in and out and in, and there's really not a lot they can do about it. But for the businesses, that's not acceptable. They need internet, and whether or not the primary internet provider is able to keep their network up is something that, if they can't rely on that, they do need a backup plan, and that's where the failover internet comes in. And so what we found, and even home users, I guess, could switch to these failover internet devices. They actually bounce off cell towers. They run on the LTE cellular network, and so we install devices that when the primary internet goes down, the cellular backup kicks on, and the internet can continue to go. And they might not get the fastest speed that their primary internet provider offers, but they still have internet. They're still able to get to the network. They're still able to, access remote servers, whatever that they're doing, running transactions, credit cards and things like that. So business doesn't slow down, because, one thing we always learned is, sometimes when a business can't, run transactions, that gives them a bad reputation, lost revenue, all sorts of things that, they may lose clients in the future because, they had a bad experience by, just not be able to run their credit card and waiting, 5 minutes or longer just to get a transaction process. So that's one of the things that we have several clients that do use failover internet because businesses need internet, and
Time is money, right?
Time is money. And some businesses, you evaluate it. Can your business be down for 5 minutes without internet? Probably. You'll be okay. Can your business be down a day without internet? Okay, that's probably fine. Can your business be down 2 days without internet? And you can see where the time adds up. So, I think the things we always ask, 5 minutes probably acceptable, an hour not acceptable. That's probably the threshold where, we cut it off and say, yeah, you're gonna need backup internet. And it's affordable. It's not going to break the bank by any means, especially if you're running transactions. One lost transaction might pay for the service for the month. So these are just things to think about. And, if you're a business that is interested in, some of the options like this, let us know. We can definitely put together a plan and find something that fits your budget and your needs.
Yep, absolutely. And then you did go to Imperial to replace a backup device.
Yeah, that was probably just, they just had a device that needed to be replaced. It was as simple as, hey, unplug this cord, plug this cord in, plug this cord in. And then he said, turn the power on. He said, okay, I can see it. You're good to go.
Done.
And yeah, it was pretty simple. Yeah, swapping equipment that,
Yep.
and not waiting till the last minute till it fails.
Yeah,
There was no
they're
panic.
very proactive that way. We do a little bit of work with other managed service providers. So if you already have a managed service provider, they don't provide a specific service, we can sometimes fill the gap. We really don't need to take the whole cake, unless you're unhappy. But we're glad to fill various gaps, and one of them is that written information security plan. Where we have IT people that they just don't know how to pull that whole thing together. That took me 6 months to kind of figure out how to do efficiently and accurately. So yeah, I guess it's time for our ad, and then we'll talk about our cat, and then we'll kind of glam our way out.
The Residential Protection Plan by HonorBound IT is the best support and service for home computer users. You get top-notch antivirus, backup, and remote support. Plus, if you need in-store service, it's free. Visit us at 109 Norris Avenue, McCook, or call 877-686-6642. Your digital peace of mind starts here.
All right, so this is cat pick of the week. This is Cleo, and this is like right beside my lazy boy chair. And we have a red pillow on there, which we have nicknamed the Throne. And she is looking rather regal, I would say. And she is sitting on her throne, judging everybody, because that's what cats do. But yeah, they take turns on that throne, and sometimes they sleep on it. Sometimes they just sit and look around.
Just one at a time, or do you ever get a?
We've had it where there's a
Multi-cat.
couple. Yeah. Claire and Ned will often curl up on it together, and nice little warm pillow, and it's kind of nice because I can just reach over and give them the scratch, get a glare.
Yep.
Why do you disturb me? Yeah, well, that's our show for the week. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Have a great time this weekend. Keith, do you have anything special going on?
They have the old What the Junk
Are
festival.
you allowed to go to that?
I am probably not allowed to go, to be honest.
Dang.
I might be able to go visit, but I'm not going to be there.
I'll go for you and tell you all about it, okay?
Thank you.
Is there anything specific I should do, like when I get to the...
There'll be a lot of vendors, a lot of food trucks there. My
Yep.
wife was actually doing
Yeah,
a little
it's
bit with this,
Misfits,
the misfitmarket.org.
Misfit Market, yeah, exactly. And the cups and keychains, what else, geez?
Yep, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. So
For every occasion.
tumblers, glass
Yep.
cups, and keychains.
Which building will she be in, Keith?
Well, it's all in the Alice building. So
Oh, it's all in the Alice
the
building.
4-H
Okay,
at the fairgrounds,
Okay.
Riverville County Fairgrounds.
okay, so
Starting
it'll
at
be,
9 a.m. Saturday.
it'll be nice and toasty then.
Yes, it will.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, tonight I'm going to the Fox. I guess there's the series of shows that the Fox puts on every year.
Very nice.
And, yes, we're a trio. Go out with the Quacky Quilters. Go to El Puerto. El Puerto.
Ay, ay, ay. Ay, caramba.
Yeah. Have me some big old enchilada or something. I don't know.
Delicious.
Yes.
Delicioso.
It's good food. Good food. Hey, Jen, you got anything exciting going on?
Not this weekend.
No, you're not going out dancing with the husband?
No.
No? Darn it. Anyways, thanks for joining us. We appreciate that you came along for the ride. Join us next week, same time, same station. Bye.